Hey, what's up? Welcome to DGenEd. That's degenerative education, meaning none of this is financial advice. Just me having fun looking at charts like the chart behind me, which is iExec, ticker symbol RLC. It's a cryptocurrency, and I do cover it every Saturday for Crypto Corner Sat Stacker. And yeah, I've noticed some interesting things about it I wanted to share with you guys. But also, I know that you're not all that interested in crypto. If you are, let me know in the comments, and I will do more videos like this. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of dive into some analysis on the chart, also some fundamentals, and yeah, share my perspective on it. And so here, looking at this time frame, I don't have any of my drawings thrown up here, but what I wanted to point out is that this is something that stood out to me on those weekly Saturday videos, which I will continue to do for the rest of the year, is that we had lower lows coming in here with volume decreasing. And so I had kind of highlighted that along with a bunch of other things. And with that volume decreasing, I wanted to see kind of a change in trend, volume starting to increase. And so this was back in June of 2025, volume coming down with price coming down. And then we started to see volume going up while price was still coming down. A little bit of a change in trend there. Maybe that bottom is starting to, the lows starting to get bought up. And it looks like on June 22nd, RLC hit a low of 77.91 cents, and currently it's trading around $1.30. I'll go over that in a minute. But then, this to me was like, maybe that's a signal that the bottom's in. And so at that time, I was just doing like weekly stacks, nothing too exciting, just trying to get my average down because I had initially bought RLC back in 2021. It had spiked up to around 16, pulled back to around 9. I bought some thinking it'd go back up to 16. I could double my money, and that didn't happen. And so I've just been waiting for like 4 years, and I started to buy maybe a year ago, and then more aggressively this year with Crypto Corner Sat Stacker. And my average is now right around $1.56, I believe. And so it's just been like a really interesting thing. And with this increase in volume, what you can see if I extend this line over, volume started to increase, getting a little bit higher. And then over here behind me, volume even higher. So we have seen a change in trend with volume increasing as price is going up. But, it may not really seem that exciting. And there's a reason why I have this pulled back to this time frame, looking at this perspective, is because if I pull it just a little bit to the right, this really starts to take off. And that volume that I was thinking was, increasing, looking really good. So on August 19, volume was about 550,000 coins traded on that day. But then if I scroll over, what we can see here, I'm actually just going to get this so we can see the full chart and, coming over here. So that volume, that stood out to me as 550,000 shares traded or coins traded on August 19th. That looks super small compared to what we see over here. And so what we see on August 27th, over 4 million coins traded, 4.17 million. The day after, over 8 million. And so I feel like things have really changed a lot. That blue line that you saw over here, let's see if I remove this. That's the 50-day simple moving average. And, price was hovering around that. Moving forward, now we're above it clearly. So I think that looks really good. If I bring those drawings back, sorry, it's probably a lot on there. And actually, I don't even know I don't think we necessarily need to look at those drawings, but I guess I did want to point out this Fibonacci retracement. So going from the low of August 25th, which was 92.69 cents, up to the high here, that was $1.96.37. $1.9637, almost $1.97, almost $2. This Fib retracement is approximate, but we can see that the 786 here, the red line, is right around $1.15. And we did hold that as support, and we're kind of, struggling to get back above the 618, which is around $1.32, $1.33. So yeah, I'm going to remove those drawings since I have that pointed out. And, a thing that maybe stands out is with this surge in volume, we have a little bit of a divergence here looking at the daily time frame, where we have, this increase in volume with this widespread candle up over 60% on August 27th. So looking really, really good there. But then we see a larger spread in that volume, a larger volume traded on the day, 8 million versus 4 million. So like double the volume, but we see a smaller spread in the candle and it's also pulling back. So maybe that seems a little bit bearish. Large spread in volume, relatively smaller volume compared to over here. Sorry, large spread in price action, smaller spread in the volume, larger spread here, smaller spread. So there's some divergence there. But if we flip this over to the 1 hour time frame, and we look back there, what we can see is actually we saw, million share coins traded, 1.5 million, 2 million as it was going up. And then volume started to cool off as price was cooling off. And so now, looking at this on the hourly, or maybe I could just do the 4 hour. I'm not sure how this looks. No, we're still seeing, big candle on the red there. So maybe this is biased, but I want to look at this on the hourly. Lots of volume. We haven't seen a return that amount of volume since this has taken off. So I think that we could really start to see this continue. And so one thing that I noticed in yesterday's video, Crypto Corner Sat Stacker, is that looking at the market cap for RLC is that as I've been covering this, it has been ranked number 400 or higher based on market cap. So it's been a pretty small market cap, with the market cap here over 112 million. So it's, not even billions. It's pretty small. But what I saw this Saturday is that it's gotten into the 300s. So it's currently ranked number 335, trading at a price of around $1.29. I think there's a lot of potential for this to be going higher. So I'm really excited about that. I think that this looks really good. And also, I posted this onto the channel, actually over here. Now, yes, I did want to mention, thanks for your interest in this poll. I asked, will iExec hit $3 by the end of the year? 60% of those who participate, which is only 5 people, make sure you vote, share what you think. Easily that this could get up to $3. One person, 20%, looks like it could get to at least 5, which is going to agree potentially with Grok. I'll show that in a minute. But then somebody else also said that no, it's dead. So, it's risky. Thanks for participating. Make sure you cast your vote if you are interested. But I wanted to pull up this, this is me just saying that, Grok is such a nerd because I was kind of trolling him saying, thanks for the financial advice. Can you summarize the $2 to $4 price target in one neat bullet point? And so you can check that out on the channel. I did post it there. You can get to it by going to my posts. But I had done this from my phone. I couldn't pull it up on my computer because it was on the Grok app rather than on X. So I basically just recreated my question to Grok, and I'm not going to read all of this. If you want me to, let me know in the comments. I can make a video where I go over Grok's analysis from this, but my question to Grok from my phone, and copy and paste it here. And that was also on the day when RLC was, ripping faces off up here. So maybe Grok was a little bit biased. So on a day when it's not going crazy, I asked Grok the exact same question. Based on fundamentals and prior price action, where do you see crypto RLC by the end of the year? And so Grok does all this great analysis over the course of a minute or two. I'm not going to read all of it, but I'm happy to do that in an additional video if you're interested. I'm just going to read Grok's conclusion here. And so Grok says that by the end of 2025, RLC is most likely to trade between $1.50 and $2.50. So that's below $3. So maybe that's a little bit of a concern, a little bit of caution, but with a potential upside to $3.58 to $5 in a bullish market, or a downside, this is where it gets cautious, to 38 cents to $1.03 in a bearish scenario. So it's strong fundamentals in decentralized computing and AI/DePIN, combined with recent bullish technical signals, wedge breakout, volume spikes, I talked about that, suggest upside potential if the broader crypto market performs well. However, bearish indicators, for example, like trading below simple moving averages, however, we're above the 50-day simple moving average that I talked about. Oversold RSI, so I can actually pull that up here, and I'm going to look at this on the daily. RSI, I would argue, is not oversold at this point. RLC on the daily, we can see that RSI is currently, it's behind Ed's head, but the RSI here is at 56.92, so that's not really at oversold. That's above the 50%, so that is, slightly overbought, or, it's kind of neutral, right around 50. So I disagree with Grok there. Grok doesn't always have the best analysis on technicals like that, in my view. So I would have to disagree with this oversold RSI. And then also, market risks warrant caution. And then so the recommendation is to monitor key support, which is going to be around $1.13 to $1.15, and resistance at $2.14 to $3.40 for levels for entry/exit points. And so in Crypto Corner Stacker, I talk about some levels that I'm going to trim at, not $2.14, but I believe $2.40 and up. So you'll have to check out that Crypto Corner Stacker if you'd like to get the details on that. I do get into timestamps, or I do have timestamps on that video, so you can skip right to RLC if you're interested. But levels for entry exit points. Yep. And so to consider RLC for a long-term portfolio, consider RLC for a long-term portfolio if you believe in the growth of decentralized computing, but diversify to mitigate risk. And then Grok ends with, always consult financial advisor and conduct your own research before investing. And so there's this disclaimer, this analysis is not financial advice. And so that's why I kind of trolled Grok here with the thanks for the financial advice. I must clarify that my previous response was not financial advice. Whatever, Grok, you're a nerd. But yeah, I just wanted to share this because I think RLC looks really good. I've talked about levels to the upside, I believe, 220, maybe 238, and I believe 290 are levels for me to trim at to then buy back on pullbacks, with the expectation that this could be going up to, in my view, around 450 by the end of the year, corresponding with the tops over here. But taking this step back, we can see the spikes in May of 2021. I'm just going to zoom in on this so we can see, and I can kind of give you an example of what happened with me in my position is that, it spiked up, and I think that there is some more history. This is data from Coinbase. There's probably more data on Binance. But on May 9th of 2021, this spiked up to a high of 1985, pulled back to a low of $5.98, 98.2 cents on May 13th of 2021. So I think I got some around then at around $9, expecting, hey, maybe I can double my money if this goes up. But then hit a high on May 14th of 1158.8, and then has just, bled this entire time. But I think that things have started to change with, the volume increasing and, the trends really just starting to change. And so as I scroll forward into the current price action in just a second, I think that there has been a total change here and that we are going to be seeing RLC getting up to 3, maybe 5 by the end of the year. So with it trading right around $1.30, I think that there is potential to 2x, but it's also very speculative, very risky, very low on the market cap list. As we can see here, it's not even in the top 200 It's not even in the top 300. It's below that, ranked at number 335 here. And if you are interested to trade RLC, not financial advice, but it's not available on Robinhood, so it's a little bit more difficult to get a hold of some. But I have been, stacking it via Coinbase. I think it's also probably on Kraken, yeah, those are really, all my thoughts, and I just wanted to share them. But if you did enjoy my thoughts, make sure you like the video, share your thoughts in the comments down below, and make sure you subscribe to the channel for more videos like this in Crypto Corner Stat Stacker every Saturday. See you in the next one. Take care, you guys.